Hello and welcome to this Warcraft replay. This is going to be the first of a best of three. Yikes. Okay, let's restart. This is going to be the second semifinals of the winners bracket. I say second because the first series, which was Yumiko versus Fly, was... well, I don't have the replays for that, so I don't know what to do about that. Just skip it, I guess. What else can I do? I can't just stop WCA. I'd rather just finish all I've got. So anyway, WFZ spawning in as the red undead player in the top right versus Infi, the teal human player in the bottom left. So human versus knight undead matchup. I believe we had something similar before. WFZ versus some other human player. It was Hawk, I believe. It's probably Hawk. I don't think it was though, as I'm pretty sure though lost to Fly, and I think Yumiko won against Shishi. I don't know, I don't remember. It's been a week. I mean, like, it's mid-semester, so like the tests are coming up and all that, so gotta remember all the stuff I've learned rather than, you know, keep Warcraft 3 in mind. Anyway, update on WFZ. We are going for a Death Knight first, Graveyard, after Tomb of Relics. So it seems to be a standard Crypt Fiend transition over here. Maybe tier 2 a little while later. Infi is going for that standard Archmage, and well, it's not much to actually report on. Both players are pretty much playing standard. The map is on Amazonia. Honestly, on such a small map like this, I don't know who has the advantage. Let's just say it's even. Yeah, I mean the creep camps aren't really favoring human players particularly, so I wouldn't say human players have like a great hold on that front. And of course, like, if you're not going mass schools, Undead doesn't really have that much of an advantage early on.
Players' forces are under attack.
We are actually going to start some creeping here from WFZ. Interesting. We usually don't see the Death Knight creeping with his skeleton buddies. He usually goes out and harasses, but in this case he is going to be using at least 2 charges of that Rod Necromancy to clear out this Cobalt Taskmaster camp. He will... I'm not sure if he'll get level 2 off of this, but I guess he's not going to, as he is going to just run away. I guess Taskmaster might require another charge of the Rod, which isn't ideal since that's usually... Rod Necromancy is usually a tool for harassment, not really committed to like one orange creep camp, I don't think. We are having a lot of kills being picked up here by WFZ. He has, I believe, picked up at least 2 peasants. I'm not sure if he picked up an elemental or a footman or anything like that, but he is getting pretty close to level 2. Meanwhile, Archmage for Infi he's not struggling getting level 3, not at all. There we go, level 3 has been attained, and we do have the Scroll of the Beast picked up there. Death Knight was able to pick up the elemental himself, so he will get to that level 2 as well. There we go, the Death Coil as the Unholy Aura is trained up, but there's pretty much no units to actually benefit off of that aura. I don't think we had any ghouls brought over. WFZ just still working on his Crypt Fiend army. Okay, we had a couple of items sold. The Scroll of the Beast was sold. And some other item, I guess. We have the Staff of Teleportation picked up there by Infi's Archmage. Not sure how significant that item pickup would be. Cloak of Shadows will be sold, and pretty much no other item will be picked up there. Not even Dust, which I guess WFZ doesn't have borrowed just yet. Halls of the Dead is going to be completed fairly soon, so hopefully WFZ can maybe start doing something. That minor like creep jacking harassment might have been something, but I don't know. It hasn't really slowed Infi down all that much. I mean, he's halfway there with his expand, and like the Archmage is not struggling that much in terms of experience.
Are under attack.
So yeah, I think the Lich needs to come out in order for WFZ to actually start making something happen. Maybe siege the expand, since the Lich is just so good when it comes to sieging against, I guess, pretty much every race, since every race does need workers like right next to the buildings in order to repair stuff. We do have the sword house placed down, and yeah, we gotta keep our eyes on that to see whether or not WFZ is going to commit to a more destroyer-oriented army composition, or if he's just gonna go mass crit fiend. Also, we've seen more of like a destroyer composition lately. I guess that's because human players just don't get as many spellbreakers out as they used to, or at least not quick enough. And since like I guess humans like started picking up the rifle caster comp, like it was usually just caster comp, I'm pretty sure, these past 2 or 3 years. So yeah, the added addition of riflemen. I don't know, maybe riflemen are just, I'm not sure if it, so confusing, but maybe crit fiends would actually just be, you know, what WFZ goes for. We are going to have a tier 3 transition here for WFZ. Is going for his first obsidian statue. Meanwhile, Infi got a lot of footmen out. He's also brought over a couple of militia, but nothing too significant there. Maybe lack of lumber harvesting, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Well, I guess his lumber is not really hindered too much since he has a shredder himself. We have a tier 2 for Infi in progress. So WFZ needs to make something work very, very quickly. There we go with Death Coil to heal up one of those crit fiends, able to pick up a couple of footmen at the same time. And here we go, with the first statue is out, and he will try to do its best, keeping these undead units alive, but the defend, it's making those crit fiends' lives a little bit miserable there. We did have a Nova Coil combo, try to scare off that Archmage a little bit. Yeah, Infi probably needs to be careful there. Another combo like that could maybe kill off the Archmage. Of course, he does have the TP scroll just in case. So yeah, level 3 on the Death Knight. A little worth noting, I guess, since that does lead to level 2 Death Coils, which will make, I guess, WFZ's units a lot more valuable, since they will stay alive as long as possible. Obsidian statues, though, I'm definitely sure they can't be Death Coiled. Of course, they can utilize the regen off of the Unholy Aura, but yeah, you wouldn't usually want to rely on that health regen alone. We have a bunch of guard towers being upgraded here. Infi's keep is nearly done as well. Militia is going to be pulled off to try and counteract this sort of siege. It's not really a siege, since like not much damage has actually been dealt to the buildings, nor do we have any meat wagons to actually legitimize it as a siege. We are going to have a couple of footmen be chased off here. Alright, keep tick is done. Don't recall seeing a blacksmith just yet, nor do we have any of the arcane sanctums placed down either. Maybe they are placed down at the expand, who knows. WFZ is still fighting against these footmen. Infi might need to be a little careful there. I mean, the Lich hasn't actually tossed out a Frost Nova just yet. Knowing if he does, it's got to be a lot of damage. Okay, blacksmith is being built at the expansion, and castle tech is actually in progress. So we're going to tier 3 immediately for Infi. Maybe looking to get a couple of those knights out and try and deal with this like mass crypt fiend threat. Meanwhile, the Archmage and bunch of footmen out in the back, trying to just deal with the Horn Gold Mine. It might actually just force the TP scroll from WFZ. Honestly, I think he's losing a little more than his opponent is currently. So, yeah, are we going to see a TP scroll? No, we're not, but we do have the Death Knight actually running back here. Not sure how much he's gonna do. He is the one with the TP scroll. I honestly think that the entire army should have backed off with him, but let's see what he can do. I mean, like, picking up these footmen are nice and all, but he did lose himself as Ziggurat almost lost himself that altered gold mine. Fortunately for WFZ, he did actually just repel the entire army. Of course, excluding the Archmage, who did TP's staff out. Mountain can come in as the second hero. There we go with the nice Stormbolt there, right under the tower's range as well. It will keep that Crypt Fiend locked down until it starts burrowing. There we go with the reveal, and that will be a dead Crypt Fiend. But we are gonna have maybe some vengeance kill here, as WFZ manages to pick it up with the Nova and then into the Death Coil. Pretty simple. I mean, honestly, a much worthwhile trade, trading a Crypt Fiend for a Mountain King. So WFZ is looking good. I mean, honestly, it's really great that he didn't have to suffer too much. What is it? What's the word? I don't. He didn't get punished too badly for only putting back his one Death Knight instead of his entire army. We did have a Goblin Sapper trying to be a little flashy there. Only like dealt damage to the crypt. Not really anything significant. It didn't hit any Ziggurats. Elementals are being taken down slowly. Of course, the destroyers can just absorb that mana or magic. And yeah, the Altar of Kings actually being destroyed. We did have Infi replacing this. He's actually resorting into double workshop. That is weird. I did not anticipate Infi to be that type so quickly. He wouldn't usually resort to siege tanks, but he is going to do that instead. No, we actually gonna have flak cannons being queued up here. Apparently he's being indecisive right now. Either go siege tanks or go flying machine. Not entirely sure if the flying machine is a good decision, since we don't have that many destroyers out. We only have one at the base, so it doesn't really require a lot of those flying machines out. We did have a knight being trained up, but unfortunately he's not really doing much himself. Pal is going to come out as the third and final hero of Infi. This is a really weird game. Like, both players are just neglecting their main bases. Not sure how well this is working out for WFZ. I mean, yeah, sure, he's like pushing away his opponent from his main base, but like he doesn't have an expand, unlike his opponent. Like, if he takes damage at his main base, that's like really punishing damage. Back at Infi's house, well, he has two houses, and if one dies or one gets destroyed, you can always live in the other house, or some weird analogy like that. No upgrades whatsoever. We do have Masonry +3, so those buildings are going to be a lot tankier than I guess WFZ would hope for. Spellbreak is coming out, and we do have a little more knights, or a few more knights coming out for Infi. These workshops have yet to prove themselves of any use. We did have a Staff of Sanctuary being picked up here by the Archmage. We'll be able to keep his units both safe and healthy. Although I don't know how that knight actually moved. I'm pretty sure he was hit by the Sanctuary, but he moved nevertheless. What? I don't understand. And like there was nothing to dispel that, so that's a little weird. Okay, main expand is going to be the next target of WFZ. Is that going to be true? Yes, it is, and we do have a couple of destroyers out. Infi probably should have queued up his flying machines, as well, there are now perfect targets for them. +1 attack and armor is like queued up, and attack has been completed for the Spellbreakers and Knights. We do have 2 destroyers out to try and fend this attack off. Of course, they can definitely utilize those elementals as their source of food. The Knight has been sanctuaried back home, and of course the Spellbreaker can't actually be dealt any damage by those destroyers. Okay, here we go. Flying machines have started queue. I'm not sure if you should go overboard on that, since there's like two at the base and like 2 at the front lines. Not sure if you're gonna split or you're just gonna go 1 by 1. Again, like, the flying machines aren't really gonna win the game. They're gonna help win the game by dealing with those destroyers, but like, we still need a fair number of Knights and Spellbreakers to deal with those Crypt Fiends as well. Level 4 Death Knight, level 3 Lich versus a level 4 Archmage, level 1 Mountain King, and level 1 Paladin. So yeah, ever since the Paladin and Mountain King came out, it wasn't that much success actually gained after that. Like, that is a bit of a problem. Mountain King would definitely love to have his bash proc, a bash passive, and Paladin, I don't think he really needs his Divine Shield. More like he needs more levels on that Holy Light. Alright, Infi's peasants have pretty much been massacred but 1. Honestly, that's just the power of Frost Nova. Like, the workers will naturally clump up next to the building, and then they would go with a Frost Nova and a lot of AoE. Autocast Web has picked at least 2 flying machines, and well, that's 2 less flying machines for Infi. Okay, here we go. A lot of flying machines versus 4 destroyers, 5 destroyers. Will it be enough? Who knows? The Knights, Militia, and of course the 3 human heroes are going to try and deal with the Crypt Fiend threat. Honestly, they could probably deal with the Crypt Fiend threat, but there are just so many destroyers out and not enough flying machines. This might be a little problematic, and like, if Infi actually drops down a couple of elementals to kill 1 destroyer, that's gonna be bad news bear, because like, there are way more destroyers that can just insta-kill that elemental, and of course get a lot more mana for that Orb of Annihilation. But, well, doesn't look too bad for Infi, since flying machines are so cheap and so quick to make. I guess Infi is able to reinforce in time. Of course, now the problem is, what now? Like, there's still 4 destroyers. They can go up to 5 since we do have another obsidian statue. Can Infi really deal with this? 5 destroyers can definitely destroy 5 flying machines. We are going low upkeep for WFZ, so it looks like he really wants to finish this game quick, not really caring about the drawbacks of getting reduced income here. Destroyer is not really the quickest units in sieging, but of course when it comes to those Knights who do have heavy armor, it is a lot more of just a killing line, I guess. Destroyers are actually being killed off slowly, but we're still at the number 4. Smart by Infi to actually focus down the Death Knight, forcing a TP scroll to actually be used there, and laying off some pressure away from Infi's base.
Forces are under attack.
Alright, Knight count, we're still at 2, but I guess that's reasonable. Actually we're at 3, but this one's out of commission until he's full health. It is reasonable since most of them die like constantly against those destroyers, and well, we do have a lot of destroyers. Sashawar's camp is currently being done by WFZ. What will be dropped? Who knows? It is going to be a Wand of Illusion once again. Will it be useful this in this scenario for WFZ? I'm not sure. But he's going to keep it.
Forces are under attack.
Okay, Renegade was in the camp in the bottom right. Will be cleared out by Infi, and he will get himself that Scourge Bone Chime. Probably a good aura item for Infi's army composition right now. Obviously, Illyria's field accuracy would definitely benefit these flying machines, but since since Infi also has knights out, the lifesteal might be able to be, you know, proven useful. Alright, here we go. Continued siege Infi. It looks like he's gonna lose his expand sooner or later. I mean, what's Infi really doing right now? He has a bunch of flying machines. Okay, here we go. A little bit of a pincer move here. The flat cannons trying to do as much AoE as possible, even though AoE does seem a little awkward in Warcraft 3. Let's see how this will work. Well, we still have like 6 destroyers out, and we do like constantly hear those flying machines being killed off. Orb of Annihilation AoE is slowly chipping away at the numbers of those flying machines, but destroyer number is slowly going down as well. 3 goes to 2. We have 2 versus 4 flying machines. Honestly, WC looks like he's gonna get cornered in the back to the trees. Lich will be taking down level 5. Death Knight is running away. GG from WFZ. Or was that Death Knight? I don't know which unit ran away, but I'm pretty sure that was the Death Knight. Or something like that. Anyway, that is going to be game 1 of this best of 3. I'll see you guys in game 2. And yeah.